Hi everybody, welcome to Chef Prep with Chef Chedu. We're here again with a wonderful guest. He's a good friend of mine, he's a member of my church, and he's also a very good digital mind. Please welcome Dan Ramlogan. Dan, you're welcome.
Thank you, Frank. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, we're going to be having a lot of discussion. So what we do in this show is try to teach people how to make simple meals. Then while we're making the meals, we're having a chat about things about life.
All right.
Yeah. So can you briefly introduce yourself?
Sure, you talked about digital. I've been in the startup tech space for about 20 years now.
Okay.
Being involved in startups means I've done everything. Everything from cleaning the washrooms to defining business plans to coding to marketing. And so there are very few things that I haven't done in the tech space.
Awesome. Yeah. For those of you that don't know, I'm in the tech space as well. I'll get back to that later. So today we'll be making pizza. Dan doesn't cook so much, so do you think it's something you can easily just put together for your kids?
Yeah, I think this is a great one that you chose to do for me because my kids love pizza, but to make it fresh is something that I would love to be able to do more. Awesome.
So today we'll be talking a lot about 3 circles. We'll be talking in 3 circles, right? And these 3 circles, he's going to explain about them. You're going to see this, the diagram on the screen while we'll talk about them. Now, let's go straight to our cooking. We're going to be making pizza. And one of the things that drives me about digital, it's you have to have a niche for something. You have to want to do something. So the first thing, our main ingredient is going to be our flour. We're going to be using all-purpose flour. Talking about all-purpose flour, what is purpose? And does it tie in with your 3 circles you'll be talking about today?
Purpose does tie in. In fact, it's at the core, and we're going to end up at this place of purpose.
Awesome.
And I think whether we're talking about business or life, purpose is at the core of everything that we do.
Awesome. So in pizza, we have 3 main ingredients. We have the dough, we have the sauce, and we also have the toppings. So here you can see, we're going to do it like Italians. We're not going to have a shredded mozzarella cheese, but we have a chopped mozzarella cheese. Then the Italians use basil in Napoli. So it's they have an association of pizza makers. So we're just going that basic. They make it quite basic. Just in case you want to do it the Canadian way. We also have shredded mozzarella cheese. Okay. Then for our sauce base, we have tomatoes, onion, and garlic. This we're going to blend up.
Okay.
Then after blending, we'll put it on the fire to heat up, and that will make the base for our pizza sauce.
Wow. Okay.
So, if I may ask, what is your first circle you want to talk about today?
Well, the first circle I want to talk about is passion. And the reason why I want to start there is because when it comes to passion, that in many ways refers to our heart. The things that get us excited, the things that energize us, the things that if we could do anything in the world, we would choose to do. So that would be the circle of passion.
Awesome. Yeah, let's go right into it while we talk about passion. So we're going to measure flour, water, and one more ingredient, the yeast. Stay tuned. Yeah, welcome. You can see my table is full of gadgets. We're going to be using very basic gadgets here. I have my Ninja blender, which is like it also makes dough. I have the Ninja blender also for the blending of the tomato. First, Dan, we're going to make our yeast mix. So I would like you to pour some warm water into the bowl.
All right. You can just tell me when to stop.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. So for the yeast, we need just a little, like so. Go ahead. Now, for the yeast to actually work, we need to add a little bit of sugar for it to feast with. So we can add sugar.
Right.
Yes, that's fine. Then stir.
Okay.
Just stir. I'll set aside. Okay. That's fine. So we're going to leave the mixture until we begin to see some bubbles on the top of it. Then we will add our dough. Add it to our flour. This is a quarter cup of this one, but we can use this to measure about 4 cups of flour into there.
Okay.
So this is the kitchen, so you can get your hands dirty, don't worry.
Got it. All right. One.
So talking about passion, what will you say is the main driving force? How will you describe passion?
I think when it comes to passion, it's probably one of those things that is the most easy to define, because we know what makes,
And that's fine.
there we go, what makes us excited, what energizes us. We just naturally know that. I think it's one of those things that even as young children, when you see children doing something that they just love to do, this energy and this joy that just bubbles up. And so from a young age, I think we start to identify passion. As we get older, we can often lose it because life gets crowded and responsibility, pressures, problems can push it out. But it's there. I think for you, Frank, like, why do you do this? Why do you do this?
Yeah, I have a passion to cook.
There you go.
And also a passion to talk to people and help people, basically,
Right.
yeah.
There you go. And so does this come easy for you?
In a way, but it comes with a lot of desire, and I just need to keep the fire burning. But it
Right.
comes like,
Right.
yeah.
Excellent.
So does it mean that passion comes easily to people?
I think passion itself comes easy. It doesn't, as you just alluded to, it doesn't necessarily drive us to action, but it at least gets us thinking about things.
Okay.
And it stirs something within us. So it's one of the key ingredients, if you will, to purpose.
I like that. They said passion doesn't drive us to action. Wow. So while we do that, we're not going to waste so much time. We're going to drive some passion here. We're going to blend our tomato mist. So please do the honor. Just
All right. This one?
no, the middle one. Awesome. Yeah, that's all done now. Okay, now we're going to make the dough. The dough goes through a lot of process, beating. And in life, our lives, sometimes we are being beat by left, center, and it definitely brings out pain. The second part you want to talk about in your circle is pain. How does pain relate to us as human and to our purpose?
Pain isn't easy, but it serves a really important purpose in our lives. And while none of us would necessarily welcome pain into our lives or walk into that willingly, it's such a key ingredient in defining our purpose and uncovering the purpose in our lives. Because the thing about pain is that whether it's something that we empathize with or it's something that we experience, and as a result of that experience, it becomes something that we can share with others. It's this powerful tool in our lives that enables us to live lives that have meaning. And again, coming back to finding our purpose, it can help to point us towards purpose.
Awesome. So let's we'll pour the yeast and the mixture here. We need to add a little bit of salt,
Okay.
which you can do. I'm not going to be doing this, Dan.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Got it.
Get a teaspoon of salt. Okay. Yes. Then olive oil.
Okay.
Also, just pour a little bit of it
All right.
in it. Okay, I think that's fine for now. So now we are gonna.
How much oil would that have been?
Sorry?
How much oil were we trying to put in there?
Just like a tablespoon.
Tablespoon, got it.
So this is gonna experience its own pain now. So dough. So we're gonna be mixing. I don't want to give you guys too much loud sound. I don't want to give you too much sound, but we'll be mixing now. We'll come back in a minute. Yeah, okay, so Dan, we need to get our hands a little bit dirty now.
Okay.
So can you have more discussion? What else do you want to talk about pain that you think will be beneficial to the viewers?
You know, when I was talking about passion, I said that's the heart. I think the parallel for pain, the pain would be the depth. Right? And so when we were talking about passion and things that might excite us, well, that excitement is wonderful. But the pain really, when you talk about dough and just needing that dough, this is now the depth that really makes things personal for us and allows us to connect our passion to this pain in ways that can potentially drive us towards action.
So in tech space, where we want to get user requirement, to talk about user stories and all of this, does pain give an individual like a story, like something to say, okay, this is an experience, I can now relate something better? Does it really relate in that way?
That's a great analogy, because every story requires some sort of adversity. There's no story without adversity.
True.
Right? It's just a walk in the park that never ends unless there's some sort of conflict or event that takes place. And so in tech, when we relate it to tech, what are the problems that our users are encountering that they need to overcome, that our solution is trying to help? So yeah, absolutely, pain plays a role in that as well.
Awesome. So we're going to sprinkle a little bit of flour. We just spray. So you need to knead it, just roll it a bit, because we are going to keep it to rise.
Okay.
It's going to rise more than twice the size. So all we just need to do is, like, for example, just like you're kneading it like this, just roll it to come to a ball.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Good job. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. You are not inflicting too much pain on it. That's fine, Dan. So we're going to keep it. Make sure we put olive oil in the bowl. Then we cover it. Okay. So we're going to cover this and keep to rest for 1 hour. But I'm not going to keep you here for 1 hour. We're going to be right back. Yeah. Then we're here. We're going to make the second part of the ingredient, the really main good part of it, okay, which is the sauce. So you can turn on this one. Just turn it on to just this little meat to, yeah. Good. Awesome. So we're going to add some olive oil. You do it. I'm just giving you the oil.
Thank you.
So you can turn the sauce in.
Don't want to waste any of that.
That's good. So while we talk about while we begin to stir this and let the fire heat it up, is pain a reflection of God leading us through a certain phase in our life, or how do you see pain? as relates to if it is God taking us through certain people call it desert experience and all of that. How will you relate to pain?
It's a tough thing to talk about pain. We know we live in a broken world, so there's a lot of pain around us. We know that God wants the very best for us, but sometimes that requires us to walk through seasons of pain, of difficulty. It's a part of that process. But we can always have hope in that, because we know through that process that the Lord has something better for us and in his ultimate plan. And so, yeah, I think pain is one of those situations where we can meet God most when we're in those seasons, and we can also learn the most and grow the most in those seasons.
True.
You could talk to me about how to make sauce. You could describe everything and I could listen to you and I'd be like, that's nice. And then I might forget it tomorrow. But I won't forget this, right? Because we're living this together, right?
Sure.
We're walking through this together.
That's awesome. Then just let's give it a stir. So that's all. We'll just keep it, stir it up, and we can add a little bit of salt.
Okay. You say when?
That's okay. You're natural. You can add a little bit of seasoning, just a little bit, not all of it. Okay, that's fine. So while we allow this to cook, what is your third circle?
The third circle is proficiency. And you can see the pattern here of just trying to use P words. So there's probably a better word than proficiency. But what that word describes, if we think of, again, passion is heart and pain is depth, I would say proficiency now are the hands, the motion. And so it captures all of the things that we are good at. Where do our gifts, talents, experiences all intersect? That's proficiency. So that if there's elements to which we are passionate about, we have some pain or experience in a given area, what action could we possibly take that ties back to these things? And that's where proficiency comes into play. It really helps us to understand, what can we do? What are we able to do to, positively affect either our lives or the lives of others?
So we're not just talking about our lives now. You've brought in the factor of the lives of others. So am I supposed to use my proficiency for others? Or why? Is it not just for me to just get better or something? Or why does it relate to others?
I think one of the things that has been so powerful for me is when I came to the realization in life that this isn't my story. It's not all about me. And so often we can be so focused on our story that we miss the stories around us. But when we see the stories that are unfolding around us, sometimes that's really close, like our family. Sometimes it's not as close. It's maybe a coworker or a neighbor or something that's out there. When our stories start to intersect with others and we allow that influence into our lives, then this whole model of passion, pain, proficiency really comes to life, and God can really use that.
Awesome. I can see it's getting there.
So the goal is to
Picking up.
Smells good, Frank.
Wow, you're the chef. You're the one doing it.
So you talked about being in tech. What are some of the proficiencies that you would identify in yourself?
Well, I started my career doing a lot of networking and IT infrastructure. So for my tech proficiency, I do a lot of threat assessment, like for cybersecurity, check the system, make sure it is well proofed and hardened before it's given to the client. Then also for OT systems, for example, for oil and gas, we don't do cloud. We do OT out of network kind of systems where we don't connect it to the cloud. So we need to make sure any connection that has to do with an outside network has to be checked, has to be verified, all the risk has to be analyzed and like that. So more of networks and all of that. So I kind of like communicating with people just like how computers communicate in the network. Right. But in the sense of communication, those things need to be filtered. So I need to filter what I say to people. I need to make sure only the good packets go through, which is the godly packets, as we will say it. Yeah. So basically that's what I can say about that.
So if I was to describe for you as your proficiency, this is what I heard. You're able to kind of look out into the horizon and see the threats and risks that may potentially affect the company. Work back from there and think through strategies and plans to
mitigate
that,
this, yeah.
Right, from any of those things.
See, that's why you're the consultant.
And then work with people, mobilize the
team
so that they catch the vision and are able to execute what you need.
Execute what I need, test all the possible solutions and pick the right one that will work.
Great.
Yeah. There we are. Hi Dan, wow, look at our dough. This is reason. So what we need to do, first thing we need to do is to remove, there's a lot of air in this.
Okay.
So I want you to give it a punch.
Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting that much.
Yeah. So now you just have to use your hands and we have our dough.
Okay.
So we have our dough. So here we'll just knead the dough, but this is a big portion for a pizza. So we'll have to cut it into two.
Okay.
So we can cut it into two. So you can knead that one, and I'll knead this one. You actually need both of your hands to. Okay, now make it like a ball like this.
Your ball looks much rounder than mine.
It's okay. So normally, they'll keep you to sit again for maybe another some time.
Right.
But now we can just as well just begin to. I think the easier way normally is to use a rolling pin.
Right.
Rolling pin to do this. So I don't know if you want to use a rolling pin.
I will follow you and hope it's round. But this is the thing about proficiency.
Yes.
The Lord promises that everybody has gifts.
His own gifts.
Everybody has gifts. We don't all have the same gifts. None of us have all gifts. We all have different gifts. And part of the process of life is figuring out what those are and developing those.
So you said everybody has a gift. So how would I get to know what I'm proficient in? Is it like it's something I have been doing or?
Well, this is where the tie back to passion comes in. Passion can help serve as an indicator in pointing us in the direction of what our proficiency might be, or at least which areas we want to develop or explore. And for many, it can be a lifelong journey of finding and developing what we truly are proficient in. It's not something that I think, especially with young people, that they should have put the pressure on themselves to think that, I need to figure this out.
Yeah.
That's right. It's okay to try and fail and to grow from that and continue to develop it. But eventually, the proficiency does rise to the surface. And you see what you excel in. Like when you were describing your role in cybersecurity, your proficiency, you can probably do all the things that need to be done, but your proficiency is more being able to see the future and then to develop plans to, prevent against certain situations in a company's future. And then, as you said, with the communication and mobilizing, right? So we can have many skills, but there are certain skills that really rise to the top. And so.
Awesome. So while we're doing this, we need to set the oven to 450 degrees to get heated for 400 degrees. Then we'll go straight to topping our pizzas. Stay tuned.
It's not round, but...
No, it's not round. It's okay.
It looks more authentic.
Then, to make it easier, I'm going to be using my hex-clad pan. It's a very wide pan. It's good for making pizza. So, to try to get the cylindrical or the round, you can put the dough in and just walk it gently in.
That's a really good idea. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, awesome. So, we're going to be putting the tomato sauce, then also with the toppings.
Okay.
So while you put the sauce, try to put it in the middle, then spread it out with the...
You can let me know when it's enough sauce.
Okay, that's enough.
Okay.
So try to just make a circle, like you're going a circle. Good.
Okay.
Awesome. You're a pro. So now you can get the cheese and just put the cheese on it.
All right. And with I'm used to grated cheese. So with this cheese, how am I spreading it?
It's going to melt. So just put it like, how do I put it? Thick as it is, just separate it a bit. Okay. So yes. Awesome.
I'll talk about why you're using the cheese.
So using this is the way Italians naturally cut their cheese. They hardly grate the cheese. They do it in chunks like this. And it kind of melts, and is the way the people in Napoli do it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
I missed. I'll put one there.
So also they like to put the basil on it. Then while we put the basil, we'll put a little bit of olive oil on them, not to make them burn.
Okay.
In the oven.
Okay.
So we can just lay a few of it.
I love fresh basil. It smells so good.
So good, yeah. So we'll just put some olive oil. Then yeah, and we're gonna pop this into the oven when our oven is preheated to 450 degrees. Stay tuned. Yeah. So look at how beautiful the pizza is. I tell you, Dan has something. He has made another circle. So while we wait for the oven to get heated up, and we settle down, we wait, we're going to talk about how the passion, the pain, and the proficiency all tie together. Dan is going to give us some more insight, some more nuggets. Like my mind has been being blown today by his intelligence and his teaching today. Thank you, Dan. So we'll see them after.
Okay.
We put this in the oven. Okay, Dan, help yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome. That big. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, let's go to the table and finish our discussion. Wow, our pizza turned out very good. Thank you, Dan.
Oh,
thank you for this wonderful pizza. I guess it's something you can make at a family time, make it fun, and just make with the kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Before we dig in, can you just lead us in a word of prayer,
Oh, I'd love to.
please?
Lord, I thank you for the wonders of your creation, Lord, one of which is food and, of course, us. And so grateful for friendship as well, and this time that Frank and I have had together making this wonderful meal and having such great conversation. Lord, I pray that you would bless us and bless this food that we're about to enjoy. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Amen. Well, I will taste your pizza. I would just like to ask you, how does everything come in together? How do we get purpose at the center of all we've been talking about? We've talked about passion, we've talked about pain, we've also talked about our proficiency. How does it tie up together?
You know, the pizza is perfect. It ties in like this. The intersection of passion, pain, and proficiency, that is where we find purpose, at the center of all of these things. What we love to do, what breaks our heart, and what we've been equipped to do, where those all meet, often is where we'll find our purpose.
Awesome. Please, try your
can
pizza.
I try it? Excellent.
It tastes so good. For a first time.
Excellent.
So, what will you say is the word? If you have a word for the people watching right now concerning all we've talked about today, what would be the takeaway key?
I think oftentimes purpose can be one of those things that seems so elusive to us in our lives. And as a result of that, something can feel like it's missing. But we all know our purpose. The Bible tells us our purpose, that our purpose is to glorify God and to pursue the good works that he has for us all. And so in some ways, that isn't a mystery in terms of what our purpose is. But as we pursue the good works, one of the ways that we can navigate in truly finding that is through this kind of model, right? This understanding of how our passion, our pain, and our proficiency, how those are all guiding lights towards ultimately uncovering God's purpose for our lives. And it's not about us. It's not about the outward pursuit of the things that we see and we want. It's much more about an inward pursuit of God and truly where fulfillment is found. At least I'm speaking from my life where I have found fulfillment.
Awesome. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you learned one or two things about making pizza. I want to thank Dan also for his wonderful insight to purpose and what you have shared with us today. And one thing he said, God has given us a purpose. We all have a purpose and it can be revealed when we focus on God. So thank you very much for watching. God bless you. Bye.
Bye-bye.